Good evening to all. I'm EKTA LODHARI. I'm implementation consultant at Aquatech Limited. I have experience in various ERP Next modules such as accounts, HR and payroll, stock, buying, selling, and assets. I have been exploring ERP Next for a while now, and I have come across amazing features which help to make organizational activities and business operations faster, simpler, and more accurate. I mainly deal with HR and payroll implementation. Our developers have made various enhancements in the HR and payroll module. Introducing to you our tailored HR and payroll facilities within ERP Next, specifically designed to meet the unique requirements of our local market. One of the enhancements made by our developers is the payroll approval. The aim of this enhancement is to make sure that the salary slips have not been submitted without being approved by the approver. Payroll approval allows bulk approval of the salary slips. Now, to enable this feature, a checkbox of Enable Payroll Entry have been added to the CSF-TZ settings. Once this checkbox has been ticked in the CSF-TZ settings, the checkbox of Has Payroll Approval will automatically be ticked in the payroll entry screen and the salary slip screen. So how I said, this is the CSF-TZ settings, whereby we have our different type of settings where there is a button of Enable Payroll Approval. Once we tick this, the flow of payroll approval will be enabled and it will follow the payroll approval flow. And this is the screen of payroll entry. Person responsible for creating salary slips, let's call him HR user. And then the accountant is responsible to review the salary slips. And then we have finally, at the end, we have finance manager who approves or rejects the salary slip. So here, let's start with salary slips creation. So HR user, based on our example, will create the salary slip and then submit for approval over here. Once submitted for approval, the status on the salary slip will change to approval requested. After the status has been changed to approval requested, the accountant will either review it or reject the salary slip based on what he have reviewed. So if he rejects it, the status will change to changes requested. If he reviews it, the status will change to reviewed by accountant. After the status of the salary slip has changed to reviewed by accountants, the finance manager will now finally approve or reject it. Here, the same applies. If approved, the status will change to approved. If rejected, the status will change to changes requested. Wherever the status had changed to changes requested, the salary slip will either be cancelled or it will go back to the HR user so that he or she can analyze and then make the changes requested. So that was one of the feature which was payroll approval. The next feature which were enhanced was piecework. So just by looking at the name and the picture, can anyone just guess what it's about? No. Okay, so I'll continue. I'll just say what's it about. So piecework is used by the company where an employee is being paid based on the number of pieces he or she has worked on. Again, let's take an example of a company where an employee has to pack boxes. So the employee will be paid based on the number of boxes he or she has packed. So taking that example, in the system, we'll see piecework type screen. This is the one type transaction where you have to specify your task name. In our example, our task was packaging. And then we have to keep the UOM and rate, like how much he or she will be paid per box. So once we have already created this piecework type, now we'll come to the piecework screen. Here, if we keep our task, the one we just created, which was a one-time setup, the task rate will automatically be brought from that piecework type. And when we keep the quantity referring to our example, the number of box the employees worked on. So once we keep the quantity, the total will be calculated by the system, and it will say how much we have to pay for that employee, to that employee. So that was the piecework. Other enhancements we have are on reports. So we have developed these reports which will show the balances of an employee of his salary in different currencies. So in this report, once we tick the multi-currency checkbox, that's when it will show the balances in different currency. That was one of the report. The other report we have is the salary register summary with monthly comparison report. This report helps to observe monthly amounts of salaries, then observe the monthly amounts, check if there is a difference between those amounts, and analyze what's causing the difference. So yeah, this is the report itself. As you can see, it's showing the monthly amounts, it's showing the difference between those amounts. Then we can use it to analyze what's causing those difference. And the next report we have is employee salary register with monthly comparison report. The other report we have employee salary register with monthly comparison report. This report works just like the before report. It will help you to observe monthly amounts. It will help you to check what's causing the difference between amounts. But now this report is employee-wise. The previous report, it shows the total balances of the employees. But now here in this report, it will show the details employees-wise. So those were just brief enhancements, brief summary on the enhancements made by our developers. Yeah. So yeah, I have 2 minutes left. Any questions? So yeah, a clap for our developers too, including Mr. Choks and Mr. Kakera for all these enhancements.